planned all week to sort of try and get at Rosenborg early and put them under pressure. And I felt that for 25 minutes, up to the time the first goal was scored, we had done exceptionally well, other than put the ball in the back of the net. And we were forced to attack the score. So that was extremely disappointing. And then on their second attack, scored again just before half time. So that's the clinical nature of European football and teams that are used to probably playing at a little bit of a higher level. So second half, the lads tore the game, gave all they could, and we had maybe a couple of chances we could have scored, but overall they defended really well. And that's probably it in a nutshell. And the crowd was fantastic, and it would have been great if we could have just given them a goal for the fact that it was a big crowd and big atmosphere. But that's the difference really.
Yeah, you had 11 corners, and against maybe League of Ireland side, you might expect to trouble them a bit more than you could. Is that just their quality again?
Yeah, because they defended really well, and you could see that, and we had done a lot of work on them, and we do a lot of work, and normally we score for them, but they were defended really, really well, and and even the frees, and even from open play at times, because we try to get behind them, we try to get crosses in, but they were dogged and very good, and that's overall, you look at it, probably they have 3 chances in the match to score 2. That's the difference.
And whatever about the second goal, the quality it had, the first goal would be a big frustration, Joe, from your point of view.
Yeah, because the first goal changes the game, and the second goal, it was a killer, but they did very well. They played neat 1-2 with Jensen, and he put in Levy, and he stuck it well, to be fair, in off the post. But they showed their pace and movement. But the first goal was a killer because of that part of the game. We'd started so well, there was a buzz, and in these type of games, if you go ahead, you have an opportunity maybe to rattle teams, but once they got ahead, they were comfortable to sit in and hit us on the counter attack. So that's just the extra bit of quality of these teams, and we can talk the cows come home about League of Ireland and your teams in Europe and whatever, but once every number of years someone might win a couple of games like we did a couple of years ago, but ultimately all these teams come from massive industries, and we used to play in Europe every year and getting the Champions League group stages or Europa League group stages, and that bit of quality showed because they have players that they can, when you look at during the week, they make it 3.5 midday for, we get all the players on frees. It's just the way it is, and there's no disgrace in that, but it's just where we're at. So it's just disappointing from that point of view, because against a team like that, you need everything to go right for you, and then you need to defend exceptionally well, and that's what's disappointing.
You have to score, John, don't you? And this year has been difficult because the standard of the teams you played has been so much higher.
Yeah, but I keep saying that's the brilliance of European football. You know what I mean? You bring here, you bring a full house. People come to watch European football. That's the brilliance of it. You want to see where you're at, but I keep saying that from our point of view, and from the League of Ireland point of view, there are very few teams and countries now that our league is better than, which is disappointing. Maybe 10 years ago we were better than the likes of Cyprus and Israel and these countries, and but even you look at the new old Russia countries, Lithuania, Latvia, whereas we might have been better before. All these countries are getting good very, very quickly, and their industry investment is massive, and they're passing us out, and that's just what's disappointing. But at the same time, so when you get a game like that and a team like Rosenborg, who have much more resources, have excellent players, and you have so many international players, when you get that scenario, that you have to do everything right, and we played quite well at times. So, but look, when you concede a goal like that, particularly the first goal, it does knock you, and that's what was disappointing.
John, would you, on the basis of what you saw from your own team and allowing that they defended very well, would you have hopes of even being able to sow a seed of doubt in their minds out there by getting an away goal? They'll assume that they have the time in the bag now. Most people looking in from the outside will assume that. What's your thoughts on what you face away from home now?
Yeah, it's a different game, because obviously they're at home, they can sit in, they can keep the ball, we must put pressure on them. So, but you never know. That's the brilliant thing about sport, and that if you got a goal back, it's a different type of game. But at the same time, there is a challenge to score out there without conceding, and you can see with their type of play they have and the players they have, and Levy on the wing, he's an excellent player, tremendous pace. Jensen, absolutely, clever player, brilliant touch. And I didn't have Bettner, who's played with the top clubs around Europe, and he's out there and his touch is brilliant and his movement is good. So, but defensively they were solid and they were very good. So you look at over the game tonight, and despite the fact they were under pressure quite a lot of times, they were very dominant, and so it will be difficult. There's no doubt about it. But as I keep saying, you'll go out and you'll prepare properly and give it your best shot. But we have to be realistic in the situation in our own league, that it is difficult when you're playing teams and countries that are their domestic football is better than yours, and that's probably what's shown up here.
John, you mentioned leagues that might be passing Ireland out. I mean, is that something you'd like to see collectively addressed as a discussion? I mean, if things are possibly worse than they were 10 years ago.
Well, I think what I'm saying, I suppose what I'm saying on it, Dan, is that our own league in 40 years, I keep saying since I've been young for the following, it hasn't changed. We've always had every 2 or 3 years the same teams running into problems, and no one has ever taken the challenge up. You look at Europe, we all get carried away. Maybe 1-2 teams have made Champions League once every 7, 8, 9 years, or group stages, and realistically you might get a purple pack where you get one great team, and before you sell your players you might get that run, you know what I mean. A couple of years ago we went to the 3rd round, and we had a very strong team, and then you lose 2 or 3 players and it changes. And I suppose that's the difficulty for clubs in Ireland, because you can't keep players, because you can't give them the wages that you can get even in League 2, League 1 even, So from that point of view, I keep saying we just don't have that industry, and we'll be the same in 10, 15, 20 years time, and we'll be further down the pecking order if we don't decide to stand up and invest in our league. And that is the challenge to the whole lot of us. But you're well used to me saying that, but I'd love to see that we would do that. But it probably at times gets frustrating looking in. You wonder, will it happen? Because ultimately, if you're not going to invest properly from the top and set standards in, you're not going to progress in Europe. And the way it's going now, the seeding is going, it's further down the line they're going, so it gets more difficult. So, and there's no pleasure in me saying that, but that's reality. And people just think you can, Cork City or Shamrock Rovers or Dundalk, and just go out and you can compete with teams that are on budgets of 30, 40 million. It might surprise them once. It won't surprise them for 3 or 4 rounds and get any further. And that's just reality, and not when you're losing your players every year.
John, it must be extra kind of frustrating that you didn't get any reward when you look at the performance, not only tonight but against Leggy as well. Especially here, you dominated for periods in the game, just that bit of quality. But it's extra frustrating. There's no reward when there's the type of football you've played.
Well, it's frustrating, but I suppose I'm tuned in, and our management team are tuned in and whatever, and you have to get the players prepared and whatever, and there's no.
I keep saying, spells, strong spells.
Good spell. You have to take those opportunities, but there's no lads, no one in disgrace in losing the teams. Leggy was 60 million there, something like 22, 23 million. No disgrace in that. That's just reality and where football is at. But yes, the beauty about sport is there are days when you can have everything that goes right for you, as we've proven here against Hacken and before that. You can have days when they might be better than you, whereas you defend for your lives and you score and you can get through. But over a period, it's more the sort of once off as opposed to being regular, and that's what's disappointing. And I'd ask anything for the lads, their work rate, their commitment, everything they give is fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's different levels, different qualities as you go up the line. That's the difference in that's the difference in professional sport, and that's the way it is.
The lads that came on felt were unlucky, John, at the start. They gave you a lot of pace in the attack, and especially Kieran Sullivan that came on.
Brilliant for Kieran. Great from to come in and do what he does well, because he went through that bit of a drop when he ended up 3 or 4 matches he hadn't done well and lost a bit of form, and then the team in the last and won the last 3 league games, which and they've done exceptionally well. So brilliant for them to come on today and give a performance second half, and did really well, and was very really got at them, and very attacking minded and adventurous, and taking them on, and that's what he's good at, and hopefully that's his kick on over the rest of the league.
The change of competition on Sunday, John, you start the defence of the Senior Cup. Will you take the opportunity as a home farm to rest a few guys or shuffle the pack? Or?
Well, I suppose you go, lads, from a European tie tonight, full house,
to Whitehall,
to non-league, a team waiting in the long grass, can't believe the luck to have the cup holders coming up here. John hadn't been the manager, good lad who's knows land league. So, you go from one extreme to the other, and we need to be on our game, and we need to be prepared properly, and we need total focus. But obviously, we have a strong bench. Certainly we will make changes. There's no doubt about that. How many we'll make, we'll wait and we'll assess tomorrow and the day after. But it is a competition we've won for the last 2 years, and we treat it the right way. But if you go to home farm and you don't prepare properly, or guys think it's going to be an easy game, then you're in trouble. So maybe we were half hoping that Rosenborg might be like that tonight. They weren't.
Is it good to have it between the two legs, John, in some way, for getting over the disappointment of tonight, just to have a change of scene, totally different type of game?
Yeah, I'm not sure I could tell you that after Sunday, Liam. But I keep saying, tonight, the lads are disappointed, but at the same time, we knew their strengths. We'd done a lot of work on them, and particularly that lad Levy and Jensen, we knew those. Bettner, obviously. So it wasn't that they did anything that we didn't know about. It was trying to prevent what they could do, and certainly, that's all I could say is that when you give the first goal was desperately soft, and we started so well, so it took a bit of the wind out of our sails, and that's just the way it goes. And it's you might say it's learning experience. We still have a lot of lads who played in Europe. I call it that basically. If you switch off against a team that are used to playing in Europe at higher levels, well then they'll punish you, and that's what they did.